Hi. So far, we have learned how to find relevant measures of risk and reward when we consider putting all our money in just one individual financial asset. However, it is obviously crucial to go beyond that limited investment strategy and consider putting a bit of our money in one asset, a bit in another one, and so on. This latter type of investment is what is known as a portfolio. Formally, a distribution across a given set of financial assets of some initial wealth to be invested. If this sounds to you a bit scary, let us illustrate the definition with an example so that you do not panic already. Suppose we would like to invest an amount of 100 monetary units where we have decided to put out of those 100, 20 in a stock, 50 in a bond, and 30 in a risk-free asset. That is your bank account or a treasury bill. This means that a proportion of 20 out of 100, that is 0.2, will be invested in the stock, 0.5 will be invested in the bond, and 0.3 will be invested in the risk-free asset. These proportions to be invested in each asset are known as the portfolio weights. We will use in general and next to denote them with a given subindex to differentiate the particular proportion. In this example, a natural choice is S for stock, B for bond, and F for the risk-free asset. Note that since we specify all the proportions out of the initial wealth to be invested, the weights add up to 1. Otherwise, we would exceed the amount to be invested if they added up to more than 1, or the initial wealth to be invested would not all be invested if they added up to less than 1. Let's see how we compute the return of our portfolio. Suppose that over a period of, say, 1 year, the price of the 3 assets we have in our portfolio evolve in the following way. The stock price goes from 100 at the beginning of the year to 110 at the end of the year. And to make things simple, let's suppose that it pays no dividends. Then the return of the stock is thus computed like this, and it is equal to 10%. Now, the bond price increases from 50 to 53. And again, assume now that the bond is a zero coupon bond to make things simple. Its return over the year is thus equal to 6%. Finally, suppose that the interest rate is 2%. With this information, the return of our portfolio is computed as the weighted sum of the returns of the stock, bond, and risk-free asset, where the weights to be used are the portfolio weights. This may sound like gibberish, but it is in fact a very simple calculation. Suppose that we have allocated our wealth as in the previous case. So to compute the return of the portfolio, we take the weight of the stock and we multiply it by the associated return. We take the weight of the bond and we multiply it by the return of the bond. And we take the weight of the risk-free asset and we multiply it by the return of the risk-free asset, that is 2%. The total is 5.6%, or 0.056 as a proportion. The logic of the previous example can be used to find the return of a portfolio of any number of assets. Say N. If we name the assets as asset 1, asset 2, asset 3, and so on, asset up to asset N, the weights, using again X to denote weight, can be referred to as X1, X2, and so on. And using capital R to denote return, the returns can be referred to as R1, R2, and so on. With the subindex in all these cases indicating the corresponding asset. Then, with this notation, the return of this portfolio is computed as the weight on the first asset times its return. The weight on the second asset times its return, and continuing like this with all the other ones and completing the computation that gives the return by adding all these products up. Now, this whole computation can be written in a more compact way by using the summation sign. Recall your high school mathematics. Thanks for watching and see you soon.